the Rock Metal Podcast, episode 173 with Murkocet. All right, Rock Metal Nation, what is up? This is John from the Rock Metal Podcast. That sample you just heard was Rule of the Night by Murkocet, who I've got on the show with me right now. We've got a new EP called Epidemic, which was released earlier in June, and right now I'm being joined by vocalist Richie Jano to share some stories about the music and share more info about the band. Richie, welcome to the show.
Thanks, John. How's it going, buddy?
Going beautifully, sir. It's a gorgeous day. How are you?
I'm good, man. Just my lunch break at work,
Groovy. On break to chat about some good music. And speaking of which, let's go listen back to that track, Rule the Night.
Just like the ones that say I
the Night. What is the story or inspiration behind the track?
Oh man, it's funny because Rule of the Night. So the guy that records our music, like our sound engineer, his name's Byron Phils, and he owns Bill & Recording in Phoenix, and that's where we go to get all our stuff recorded. He has a clothing company called The Best Clothing Company, and their slogan for the company is Rule the Night. One day, cause we're always sitting there messing with him, and he has a band from Phoenix that's been around for a long time, and we're big fans of them too. So we're like, Byron, man, we're gonna write the theme song for your clothing company. We're gonna write a song called Rule the Night. And he thought, he was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Go ahead. If you guys do it, then you do it. And I was like, no, dude, I don't think you get it, man. I'm serious. We're going to do it. So we did it. And so in the video, we're wearing, most of the band is all wearing stuff from his clothing company, that all says The Best on it and stuff. And we made obviously, the title of the song was Rule the Night. And, it was fun. So we ended up making the video based off of one of our older songs from the first album called Strip Club Massacre. But it was for the new song called Rule the Night. So it was a video inside the strip club, with, everybody's dying and shit. And, and so it's cool. So we kind of hit two birds with one stone with that, because we got to shoot our Strip Club Massacre video, but we got to make a video for our new song, Rule the Night, which is pretty cool. So it all worked out all right. Yeah.
I'm curious, how did he take the track, when he heard it?
He likes everything we do. And I'm sure that if he ever hears that, he'll be like, yeah, okay. Oh my God. No, man, he was cool with it, man. Cause he knew we would put some thought into it and make sure that it wasn't some lame ass song that, he wouldn't be able to be like, oh man, cause he's in the video, you know what I mean? He wanted to be in the video, that, so I mean, I'm assuming that, he definitely enjoyed the song enough to feel like he could be in the video and let his clothing company be endorsed by it,
Yeah, absolutely. Now, for Rock Metal Nation who dug the track Rule of the Night and is curious to see the music video, if you go to today's show notes, that's www.therockmetalpodcast.ca. You can go and see the music video for Rule of the Night, which is definitely a killer track in the strip club. Get it? Killer? Anyway, suicide. Anyway, so definitely a killer track in the strip club. Now, there's even I got a little dialogue in the beginning. How did that whole thing come together?
Oh, the whole Bible thing?
Yeah.
Oh shoot, dude. Oh man, what was it? Okay, so the whole thing that came up for that whole little first scene was because that's me. You know what I mean? That's me dressed up as an old man in there. And it's funny because a lot of people they see the spelling of the band and they're like, oh, what's your guys' band called? Murkocet? But Murkocet? And it's like, dude, I don't know how you can't read or use basic enunciated English to figure out what our name is. You know what I mean? First of all. So I made fun of the band name. I made fun of me. I made fun of our guitar player. And I kept saying, I wanted to make it look like the kid that was the first person to count in the video looked like he had a super religious dad who didn't let him go out and who didn't let him do anything because he was afraid of what he might go do with this crazy metal band, which ended up getting into a limo and going to the strip club and all kinds of stuff went down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was just really it was just like that cliche story, metal son grows up in a religious household and, goes out and then sure enough he dies. Yeah. So that's how that whole thing went down. And we just wanted to think of a funny way to do it. And I seen a video from an Instagram account, probably a month before that of some guy that he dresses up as himself, but as an old man and plays his dad. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he just makes it the dumbest, stupidest disguise. It's him. It's him the whole time. And so I was like, dude, I'm going to do that. And so I did it as myself. You know what I mean?
Cool. Let's go listen to the next track, Hustlin' Hate.
and slash the kitchen knife. Blood on the walls, my inside. Behind my back, it's stretch your guts up. I don't roll when you're inside. Come and slash my kitchen knife. Blood on the walls, my inside. Behind my back, it's stretch your guts up. I don't roll when you're inside. There's bad wolves in a dogfight. Hair sitting up on both sides. Taking trophies, watching you die. We're fucking sweet inside. God is flash. It's so tangled with a kitchen knife. There's blood on the walls. Even with both my hands side. Behind my back, it's stretch your guts up. Hate the room when you're in. Fight. Murkocet, always hustling. They have it all fucking me right to your face. Jealous of the stage, burning cigarettes. Drugs club, monster busting out its gates. Hustling in with every breath I breathe. Smells so much with every word I speak. No longer the sheep amongst the wolves I see. I am the wolf amongst the sheep.
Rock Metal Nation, it's John from the Rock Metal Podcast for a real quick break to let you know that Jay over at Metal Mayhem Radio is looking to help you get your band in rotation on his station. So go ahead and hit up Jay at studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. That is studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. Just go ahead and say that the Rock Metal Podcast sent you. He'll get you into rotation on Metal Mayhem Radio. I come back from Hustlin' Hate, another banging track. Now I'm curious, what is the story or inspiration behind Hustlin' Hate?
Oh man, I don't really know. I think Hustlin' Hate to me was just like a really funny play on words. It just sounded kind of ridiculous. You know what I mean in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then once I started stringing all the lyrics together, I was like, dude, this thing has some serious groove just in the lyrical melodies. You know what I mean? Like the delivery was so melodic already that when we actually went and put it down to the music, it was like, oh my god, dude, like this actually like makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Basically, you know, it's just a metaphor really for just always bringing like a really aggressive and offensive, you know, style of sound with, you know, this like the message at the same time that ultimately creates like, you know, like Hustlin' Hate, like let's see. Hustlin' Hate, you know, it's just like I said, like we're selling songs, right? Like our product is songs, and the songs are all about hating this or hating that, or, you know, they're all self-empowering songs, you know what I mean? Hustlin' Hate's just a clever Murkocet style way of you know, bringing that message out, so.
Yeah, cool. Now, for Rock Metal Nation who dug the track Hustlin' Hate and you're curious about the lyrics, if you go and go to today's show notes at www.therockmetalpodcast.ca, you can go and see the lyric video for it. Now, I'm curious, Richie, what was the story or inspiration behind the lyric video production?
So in the song Hustlin' Hate, also once again referring back to Strip Club Massacre from the beginning, from the first album. In the very beginning of the song, it says that I've been here enough times to know that in this place I'm a sheep amongst the wolves, and talking about the strip club, you know, like how strippers are all like out there to get your money. They're not. You're a sheep, and they're gonna come. You know, they're gonna take everything from you. You know what I mean? Like, you understand that metaphor right there?
I didn't know they were out to get my money. I thought they wanted to make me feel
there you
better.
Go. There you go. Bun patty bun, dude, straight up, just like that. So it's now in Hustlin' Hate. The part that I think sold me the most in the whole song was that I touched back on Strip Club Massacre by saying, no longer the sheep amongst the wolves I see, I am the wolf amongst the sheep, right? That's the line, that's the one-liner in the chorus of Hustlin' Hate. And so I had this guy named Bill throw together this really cool artwork of like this really violent wolf wearing sheep's clothing. You know what I mean? So he just took that image and just made the lyrics dance around that in the lyric video, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. Now for Rock Metal Nation who dug the 2 tracks Rule the Night and Hustlin' Hate, if you're excited to know that there is a EP that was just released in June called Epidemic. So Richie, go ahead and take us through the EP. When we pick it up, what should we expect?
Okay. So with Epidemic is it's basically the prelude to the album. Obviously, just, you know, an EP is going to be just a basically demonstration of what's to come. But the title introduces the concept of what the album will also be. When it's finally announced, it's going to make total sense to everybody. So basically, on these 5 tracks, you have Rule the Night out the gate. Rule the Night is one style, one attitude, like, you know, that song. Everyone who hasn't heard it will get it. Everyone who has will, you know, see what's up. The next song is Spiders on there, Hustlin' Hate, and then Fleeting and Burn After Listening. The cool thing about this EP is it's 5 tracks, and all 5 tracks have different attitude. You know what I mean? Therefore, there's no way you won't be able to distinguish what song you're listening to. If you've listened to all 5, none of them sound the same. You know it's the same band, but at no point do they reminisce from each other. Like, you won't be able to be like, oh, this one sounds like this one. No, the attitudes are different, and that's what makes it easy to play from front to back over and over and over and not get bored. Because instead of, like, you know, taking a riff and then turning it on itself, or using the same vocal delivery or the same drum beats over and over and over, everything is completely different and rewound, and you never really know what's coming. So
cool. Now, the next logical question on Rock Metal Nation's mind is, how can we find out more about you? Is there a website that we should go to?
If you go to www.murkocetband.com, that's our actual website. The Facebook has stuff every day. Instagram has stuff all the time, new pictures, new information. There's a Twitter. You know, you search Murkocet on literally anything, you could find it. You know, I'd say that Facebook and even our personal Facebook pages, you can always find stuff going off, you know what I mean? Stuff that maybe you don't see on all the official pages and everything too. So I'd say that everyone should start adding us too if they really are interested. You could add me, Facebook, Instagram, any of those things, Richie Jano.
Well, Richie, unless there's anything else you wanted to throw out there, I just wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day to come onto the Rock Metal Podcast and sharing Murkocet with Rock Metal Nation.
No, sweet, John. I appreciate it, man. I think I hit it all for everybody, man. Like, everyone should just check out the podcast notes and go check everything out.
All right, Rock Metal Nation. Hopefully you just found your new favorite band in Murkocet. Big thanks again to them for coming on and sharing their music with us. Make sure to head over to www.therockmetalpodcast.ca to get all the information on the show you just heard today. And until then, rock on, Rock Metal Nation.
And get the bang!